Silver eagles, silver maples. Which one's better? Stay tuned to find out. Hello, my name is Silver Dave and welcome to Silver Stacking. Today we're going to talk about silver eagles versus silver maples. Now I know everybody thinks, yeah, this has been done before, we've known silver eagles are slightly better than silver maples. That might change because you know what? These aren't normal maples. These are the 2020 new silver maples versus the current version of silver eagles. Now you're like, okay, but what's different? Well, let's find out. So, what's different about silver maples and silver eagles? Most of it's the same, but they've improved the silver maple. They've introduced new technology. So we'll go over everything, and there's quite a few things that have changed. So let's start out with comparing the two coins. So we have first the silver eagle and the silver maple. First thing I want to talk about is how pure they are. This hasn't changed from before, but the silver maple has consistently proven itself to be one of the purest coins on the market, right? And one of the major concerns before was that they had issues with milk spotting despite the purity, and aesthetically milk spots are not very nice to look at. But if we just talk about purity, silver maples beat silver eagles hands down. I mean, you have 4/9 pure, and yeah, this is a no contest win for silver maples. Silver eagles only 3/9. Does it really matter? No, not really. I mean, you get a bit more silver with your silver maples, but the silver eagles, they're still good. They are still good for stacking. They're still fine silver. 3/9 is good enough. But I do have to say, if, let's say in 30 years, you do stack silver maples, which are the same price as silver eagles today, and the price of silver goes up by a lot, because right now it doesn't matter because the price of silver is around $20 to $25 between there, right? It fluctuates somewhere between there. But if it does go up in the future, let's say in 30 years to somewhere around $1,000, then you actually have a difference between 3/9 and 4/9. So that's for purity. What about counterfeiting? What have they done? What have the Canadians done to improve their coin? Well, I've been looking it up, and they did introduce Mint Shield. And from what I understood from the brochure, they've introduced a few additional type of technologies into their coins. It's not necessarily in the 2020 version that they have Mint Shield. I believe it was since 2008. But the Royal Canadian Mint also has something called multiply technology. It's not very much advertised, but you can read it up on their website and also on some Wikipedia articles. What it says is that apparently they have different stamping technologies that allows them to build layers and to build a electromagnetic signature into the coins. So yeah, I don't think the silver eagle has anything that comes close. I mean, the design is quite difficult to counterfeit. Actually, no. The design on the maple is much harder. There are many more ridges. I mean, it's not a flat coin. You can see here that there's actually these ridge marks in here to prevent, it's not easy to stamp. That you have to go through with either you need a very fine CNC machine, or you would need some sort of engraving to do it. And I believe they laser engrave the silver maple. So I think in terms of counterfeiting, the silver maple does have an edge. I mean, the Canadian Royal Mint is, the Royal Canadian Mint is known for their technological innovations in the space of minting, especially amongst different mints. They're well known to have some of the best technology. So, yeah. Coin quality. How should I say? I think before 2018, before the Royal Canadian Mint overhauled their minting process, the Silver Eagle definitely. Like, I don't have a, I didn't bring out a older coin because I really want to show the new coins. But in the older versions of the silver maple, it was extremely prone to milk spotting. And that's something you don't see in the new version because they've studied how milk spots actually happen and they determine it's a combination of different factors and they've eliminated all those factors. So really, it's they did a lot of work. It's a lot of work. The Silver Eagle was less prone to milk spotting, but as you can see here, this Silver Eagle has, yeah, it's got milk spots. On the Walking Liberty side, because of the finish, you don't tend to see so many milk spots. It's less visible. Yeah, you see some milk spots. It's always present. It's never, yeah, on the backside, there's always some milk spotting on Silver Eagles. So, of course, the silver maples were much more prone to milk spotting, but I think today you have to give it to the Royal Canadian Mint for making such a huge effort specifically to eliminate milk spots. And I think they're the only mint that has done it because ultimately milk spots don't change the value of a coin. It's purely an aesthetics thing and it costs money to do it. So that's dedication to to making coins. So yeah, you have to give it to the Canadians for this one. Okay, well, I don't know if it fits, but it should have made it a little bit bigger. I was hoping actually that it would be more balanced. Okay, so we have the mint reputation. I'm going to have to go with the United States Mint on this one. It is a much, I mean, the Royal Canadian Mint is well known. It's well known to have better technology. But anything with the United States, you know, it carries weight just because of the name, you know, it's the United States. And I mean, this is for now. We don't know what will happen in like 20 years, 30 years if, God, if the United States still exists or if Canada still exists. But today, yeah, the United States Mint, I think, does carry a lot more weight, especially amongst, I would say, people living in the USA. And for a lot of collectors, having something coming out the United States Mint, it means something to them. So I am going to give this one to the United States Mint. But it was a big but. It doesn't mean that the Canadians have, you know, this coin, the mint is less reputable. It just means that in terms of recognition, people, when they think a mint and a coin and a bullion coin, they think this and they think the United States Mint. That's like the first thing that comes out. It's kind of like when you talk about, like, I don't know, when you think about a luxury watch, like an expensive watch, the first thing that comes to your mind is a Rolex. If you think about an expensive car, the first thing that comes to mind is a Ferrari. You know, the brand for the United States Mint is very strong. So mint reputation, Silver Eagle. We're going to talk about liquidity. Which one of these two coins is more liquid? This is a hard one. I guess it depends on the country where you're at. If you are in Canada, I do suspect that the silver maple leaf is slightly more liquid. If you're in the United States, the silver eagle will be more liquid. If you're out of the United States and you're abroad, which one is more liquid? Well, I'm going to have to give this to the Silver Eagle as being more liquid internationally. Just because it's the dollar, and the dollar is world. I mean, this is also a dollar, but this is a Canadian dollar. It's a slightly different dollar. The Silver Eagle it's just way more recognized internationally, and collectors abroad will definitely look for Silver Eagles. There are specific collectors of Silver Eagles. The maple leaves, less so. Amongst bullion collectors, they're both like relatively the same internationally, but the Silver Eagles carry a premium, and they sell faster. From what I've seen online, anytime on any type of like auction site, Silver Eagles come up, they just sell. They sell for stupid prices. Internationally, you're looking at I mean, I got mine from a guy relatively cheaply. I got it for I think $28 when silver was $25. So I was really happy. But then I saw like online the same sort of 20 box. It went for $350. So no, sorry. It went for $35 per ounce, so almost $700. It was like 650 Swiss francs. It was something crazy. I was like, whoa, that's insane. And it was like a week after I bought mine, so I was like, okay, I'm glad I bought mine at that price, which I thought was a lot. But the Canadian maple leaves, they don't command that premium. You can find them for roughly $30 a piece. You're not going to get $30 plus at current prices for a Canadian maple, even in pristine condition. The Eagles, yeah, you're going to get more. For some reason, Silver Eagles just command more in terms of premium, and they sell out faster. So liquidity, I have to give it to the Silver Eagle, but with the but it only has a slight edge. It's not a big difference. Just take note that it's not a big difference. It's just a very, very slight edge. Internationally, the Silver Eagle is slightly more liquid. So next one, we're going to talk about, this is going to be controversial, coin design. So when I talk about coin design, I also mentioned another category, which I call, let's see here, coin art, right? What is coin design and what is coin art? Well, coin design, I think, is how well designed the coin is. That means it's not how beautiful it is, but overall how well the utility of the coin is designed. And one of the things that I think that they're both well-designed coins, but the silver maple has a very, very clear edge over the Walking Liberty Silver Eagle. And I'll show you. So let's take two Silver Eagles and pretend we're going to stack them, right? And I've matched the two corners. Now I haven't put any pressure, but you can see that the corners don't fit exactly when my coin is edge to edge, as you can see here. And if I do put pressure on one side, you see that it tends to space out, and it tends to move slightly. And let me explain what that is. Essentially, that is because this part rubs against this part, and the coin edge is not elevated enough. At least on many of these Silver Eagles, it's not elevated enough so that when they line up, the coin edges are actually the ones touching and not the designs. So what happens is, I've seen it on some older Silver Eagles, is especially when they're in a stack and they're in a sort of loose stack and they rattle around a bit, you get wear on the coins. And that's not great. I mean, it's a small detail. It doesn't really affect the price of silver because it's not a lot of wear, but it is a bit annoying, you know, which it's a very small thing, but I think it does matter, and it does mean that the silver maple leaf has an edge, literally an edge. I'll show you. So this is two silver 2020 silver maple leaves, and when you put them together, you can see the edge. They touch perfectly, and the design does not move. You can squeeze it, you know, it's not moving. Basically, despite having high polish on both sides, having the two elevated edges, or enough of an elevated edge in its design, means that you're not going to get wear, even in a slightly loose box. So for me, I think this is a better designed coin. The second thing I think that's a bit of a better design is they were careful to make, I don't know if you can see this, but they made small ridges here. And that reduces the surface area of your hand when you're touching a coin. Like, you know, you normally grab it by the coin edge to reduce the amount of coin you're touching. So you're only touching the little ridges that are elevated to not leave a fingerprint. Well, the silver maple leaf, it's got ridges everywhere. So you can hold it like this. That's a very, very well thought out coin. I think they put a lot of thought into the 2020 version, the latest version of the maple leaf. And yeah, I've seen some of the older ones. They don't look as nice as the newer ones. I think they've improved a lot on the build quality of their coins. So this is something that does count. The coin design on the maple leaf is better. It's objectively better. I'm not talking about art and which one do you prefer. Now we go on to coin art between the two. I think that this is more of a personal review. I prefer the art on the Walking Liberty. I think this is one of the most iconic arts on a coin, you know, artistic design on a coin. The maple leaf, yes, it's got a lot of detail, and you can tell that people, like, there's a lot of effort. There must be some specialized minting process to give it this relief. But in terms of art, iconic art, really Walking Liberty is as iconic as you can get. I mean, you can't get more iconic than this. So I do have to give art to the silver eagle. Although I do think the eagle is, you know, on some of them they look a bit, I don't know, man. It looks a bit skinny. That's what I'm saying. It looks a bit skinny. But Walking Liberty is definitely the winner in terms of coin art. This is gonna be a fun one. Premiums. Which one has the highest premium? Yeah, I think it's clear that the one with the highest premium is the Silver Eagle. And I know that in the United States, the premium and the resale price for Silver Eagles are both high. So it simply means that despite having a high premium, the Silver Eagle, you know, you're not really losing very much money over the Eagle. But internationally, if you're selling to a dealer, a lot of dealers, at least around where I live, they charge the same for both, but they charge a higher premium on this. So the spread is much higher on the Silver because they know they can get away with it. They know they can get away with charging a higher premium when they sell for these, and because there's not so many, and not many people sell their coins, so they're not really willing to to pay. I think they get it mainly from source, and they have a hard time selling secondhand coins in poor quality to collectors. So yeah, I think that internationally this one has a higher premium and a lower resale price, or at least the same resale price as this, roughly, as the Silver Maple. So the spread on the Silver Maple is actually lower than the Eagle in many cases. I think this is also true for a lot of places in the United States, that the spread is relatively, a lot of stores, it's lower for the Maple compared to the Eagle. And so I'm gonna have to give premiums, or at least a lower spread between premium and retail price to the maple leaf. And I also know that older maple leafs, at least before 2020, they are close to spot. They are really close to spot. So I'm gonna give this to the maple leaf. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking last price spread. Yeah. Price spread, maple leaf. So you can say I'm a bit biased, but honestly, I'm not. There's quite a few objective things that you have to admit the maple leaf does have over the eagle. It is more pure. It has better anti-counterfeit technology. The coin quality is better. Like the 2018, post 2018 and 2020 silver maple leaves, 2019, 2020, and I guess maple leaves going on from now until the future, the newer editions, will be of better quality than the eagles. Unless the new eagles, the 2021 eagles, come up with some new mint technology, not just changing the design, the stamping design, but change the whole minting technology, the coin quality will be better. I think mint reputation, the United States mint will always be #1 or one of the top. Liquidity, Royal Canadian Mint is the same, but this currently has a slight edge in terms of mint reputation, despite having, I would say, lesser technology in terms of minting technology. But you know, reputation isn't always correlated with capacity or ability. It's what people think and what people want. It's kind of like, you know, Ferrari doesn't make the most reliable cars, but they do have a reputation. So yeah, liquidity is, I think, for many silver eagles will always be more liquid, and it's easier to sell silver eagles than any other coin out there. Coin design, for sure. Like, if we talk about the objective aspects, the fact that when the coins stack, they don't wear each other for the silver maples, but they do for the silver eagles, then yeah, I think coin design, especially the latest version, was mint shield, was everything they've got, and the coin design of the coin, the manufacturing of the coin is just superior. There's no comparison, really. It's objectively better. Coin art, it's more subjective. I think the Silver Eagle is a more iconic design. So, iconic art style, and people recognize it, and it does count for something. It has some intangible value. Premiums on and the price and spread on Silver Eagle is just especially internationally. In the US, it's a bit better because you do get, despite having high premiums, you do get higher prices in the US, while higher resale prices to coin shops. In Europe, coin shops will try to fleece you when you sell them Silver Eagles because they want to make a shit ton of money, and they know there's not so many circulating, and you're not going, and people tend to want to buy from coin shops rather than individuals, so they kind of have a monopoly on that. So yeah, that's my review of these two coins. I hope you like the video. If you like, feel free to subscribe, click the like button. It really helps. I'm really happy that, like, I've got 2 subscribers now, so I'm like, yeah, from 0 to 2, that's awesome. And 3 people like my videos. I'm like, yay, some people actually like the thing. So yeah, feel free to subscribe, like, and Dave out.